I hope your front door is locked and your phone is switched off. It's match time, and nothing can come in the way of a head coach and his Blood Bowl.
Hello, sport fans. Welcome to the semifinals of the Blood Bowl 2 World Cup 2018. I'm the Sage, and I'm joined here by VG Purist. Hello, VG.
Hey, what's going on, Sage?
So, VG Purist and I will be casting both semifinals of the Blood Bowl 2 World Cup back-to-back. So, this is the first team that I found in the list. This is Silsei's team. It's an Undead team called the Frankable Stars. He started off with without skilling the mummies, but has progressed to build them up over time. Both his doubles picks have gone here, so he has picked block on both mummies and guard as well, which is fairly standard, I would say. His tackle white lacks mighty blow, but that's not really an issue. He does have a third guarder in his other white, as well as 2 blodge ghouls, a total squad size of 12 players, 4 of which lack regen, so he might suffer some attrition here. I finally managed to find the second team, the Kobayashi Maru RTSD's Necro. And now, for those of you who are new to Blood Bowl as a game, probably the most discussed skill combination in the game is Claw Poem, where you have Claw, Mighty Blow, and Piling On. And it's pretty rare to see this in a tournament format, but Necromantic have a werewolf who starts with Claw, and since this tournament format allows you to pick 2 double skills, it was able to get both Mighty Blow and Piling On. Very risky, a frenzy player without block who is your main damage dealer, only strength 3, but he can definitely tear through anything if he gets the chance. He's also got a block tackle werewolf, as well as 2 block guard flesh golems. So these are basically the mummies light, because they're only strength 4. Now, in this matchup, the difference between having strength 4 block guard or strength 5 block guard will, of course, be pretty crucial. Also, a third guard here in the form of white, and only 2 ghouls, obviously, because Necromantic are only allowed 2 of them, and no blodge here either. So, in this matchup, also 12 players, but a bit more regen across the board. In this matchup, it's really going to depend upon how well James T. Kirk does here. If the Claw Poem manages to remove a mummy or the guard white, or both, then that's going to be massive. If not, then the strength advantage and the added blodge will probably favor Silsei in this matchup.
All right, so they're beginning the match.
Yeah, we're watching Silsei set up for defense. Zombies on the line, of course.
All right, so Necromantic team's going to receive the ball. Great stuff. Silsei, take it on. RTSD, the Undead matchup of the day. Who's going to get the better of it? Undead themselves? Necromantic team? Boy, I'm excited. Sage, I need more alcohol here. Somebody give me more alcohol.
So one interesting thing about this team is the fact that it has these 4 ghouls. One of them is benched. He's going to want to protect them a little bit, but he also wants to make sure that the mummies, who are now set up semi-flanked, can't be blitzed by that scary Clawbone wolf. And so the mummies need flanking helpers themselves, and it looks like the white, the tackle white, the only white, is actually at risk of becoming the first blitz target of the game. Although setup is still shifting around a little bit. It does look like the only tackler is left out to dry a little bit.
All right, Necromantic team with the offensive possession. That would be great. He'll be able to get the first bashes on the line of scrimmage because the defense has to put at least 3 guys up on the front. So that will be great. Hopefully he'll be able to get an armor break, as well as a blitz.
It's worth noting that all 4 semifinalists have already earned $1,000 just by getting this far. And the winner of the semifinals, should they lose the final, will win $1,500 as well as an amazing gaming PC, sponsored by Asus Republic of Gamers. and the person who wins the next 2 matches, so both their semifinal and the grand final, will win $3,000 as well as an even more spectacular gaming PC. So
$3,000 just for playing Blood Bowl? Get out of here, Sage.
Yeah. Blood Bowl is real, guys.
It's a nice chunk of change.
Yep, absolutely.
I don't know what I'd do with $3,000. What would you do, Sage?
Pay the rent.
Pay the rent? No. I'm blowing it on women and booze, baby.
I mean, seriously, I've turned Blood Bowl streaming into one of my 2 jobs. I only work 3 days a week teaching university anymore. So making money playing Blood Bowl is basically just, work. But it's cool. It's cool. I still very, very much love it.
Nothing wrong with that, I guess. You'll pay the rent, and I'll be paying the women. Nice.
All right, so definitely lots of thinking going on. At first, the Clawbone Wolf looked to be exposed in case of a blitz kickoff result, which would mean that the Undead actually get to do a turn before the Necro do. It's something you always have to keep in mind. It's a slim chance, but it can really, really ruin your game.
So the Necros are getting offense first. You want to put them on the bottom? Would you mind?
Sure thing. Let's do that.
If possible.
So, the kick means there's a reroll added to both teams. Ooh, the ball goes out of bounds via the werewolf. That means that the Necro don't have to pick it up. They can just give it to whoever they want, and that's obviously going to be the sure hand school in the backfield.
The man in the backfield. He's got the rock, guys, and now the first few bashes off. And don't forget, though, the other werewolf, even though he doesn't have Mighty Blow and piling on, he still has Claw, which essentially makes the opponent...
Yeah, and Claw just did a thing. He rolled an 8 on the armor, and Claw is the reason he broke it.
Look at that. So still, the other werewolf, no piling on Mighty Blow, but still one to be watching out for as well. He can definitely get those injuries out.
And here we go. Second knockdown from the white.
Oh, nice.
More stuns.
Just a stun, but gotta love that. You gotta feel good about that when you start playing the game and get a couple of stuns right off the bat. You gotta feel good.
So, for viewers who are new to the game, if you succeed on a block, that is, you roll pretty much something yellow and the guy falls over, you roll against his armor. And if that succeeds, you at least stun him, but you have the potential of also knocking him out or injuring him. Oh, wow!
Wow! Big offense. Yeah. He thought about it for a few seconds there, like, should I re-roll this? No, I really want to get him down, but still just the push there by the werewolf. Gutsy play.
And now he's exposed and in very, very real danger. So pretty much his team is that player, right? If that player drops, he's got a massive, massive problem. Yeah. Which is also why he made that reroll. It's not so much about dealing the damage, it's about making sure that the wolf can retreat into safety afterwards. But now he has to think about that 3+ dodge out without having a reroll for it. Because getting stuck there next to a guy who's not down, this is super, super dangerous. So the eggs in basket situation is definitely being punished here on the first turn.
Yeah, if he loses that werewolf, it's a big loss right there. But as we've seen before here in previous matches, RTSD not afraid to use that piling on and Mighty Blow werewolf to the maximum ability. And we've seen it even in the last game against the Lizard team, where he just kind of left them a little bit open, even did the piling on right in the front, even got fouled for it, and nearly got him removed a couple of times.
Yeah, but that wolf is getting either just Mighty Blow smacked or even surfed.
Yeah, and that's the thing here about this game. It's all about the stratagems, right? I mean, it's all about the coaching decisions right there. I mean, as you said before, I mean, the werewolf going out on the limb, and now with just the push, he's kind of stuck there on the left side, make it bash down, especially by the mummy, and could pay for his invasion on the left side.
Yeah, it was definitely the right play to make, and not getting a knockdown in 6 dice with the frenzy is very, very harsh.
And there we go, mummy coming in. He's not going to waste time.
And
gonna get him down.
Success. He can choose where. Either one works because the mummy has block and the wolf doesn't. He chooses the POW push.
That's the thing here. Even though the Necromantic team does have that piling on Mighty Blow, no block on his side.
Just a stun.
Just a stun there. But he may put the boot in.
Yeah, well, he doesn't really have zombies nearby, and I doubt he's going to want to start fouling with a ghoul. If he'd gone for a fewer ghoul build, he might have wanted to foul, but with only 12 players and most of them valuable, fouling is not really much of an option here. But that wolf is still stuck next to a guard mummy. It's going to be very hard to get him back into the game 2 turns from now.
Well, he is stunned, so he could just try to walk his zombie over there and get the boot in the next round. But yeah, as you said, it's not going to be easy, and I don't think he's going to mess up his position just to get the foul in.
The thing is, as long as that wolf cannot afford to run out of there, as long as he's stuck behind 2 players, one of which has strength and guard, then he's basically like that. Then he's basically not playing. And if that wolf is not playing, that is a massive advantage.
Yeah, so he's going to have to...
So basically, RTSD now has to center his game around making his wolf relevant again, because until he does, he's going to have a very hard time dealing any kind of damage. Oh, he does go for the foul! He does go for the foul with the goal!
Yes, I would have done it.
Oh, and it broke! It broke! He regen though.
Oh, man! Regeneration save on the foul. Beautifully done. Wow, Silsei pulling out all the stops, but RTSD, and this is why, I think this is even why you chose Undead team, right? The regeneration's so good. You don't have to worry about an apothecary. Just get the regeneration, you're fine.
So, regeneration is a 50% chance to completely heal any injury. It worked in this case. However, it doesn't actually get you your player back until the next drive, which might be a very, very long time. So RTSD is still going to want to stall here, because giving the ball to your opponents after scoring means they get a shot at scoring themselves. But it also means that he's going to have to play almost without the ability to deal attrition for the next 7 turns. And that really, really hurts. Those mummies are now a lot safer to get stuck in. Of course, he does still have the claw, but dealing damage is going to be very difficult for the Necro. And that hurts especially since the Undead chose to play with their 4 ghouls. Now, they do have the tackle, they do still have the ability to punch the Undead a little bit, but losing the claw bomb is the biggest thing that could have happened turn 1.
2 pretty seasoned veteran players going at each other, and as we've pointed out in the pregame, Necromantic Werewolf with the piling on Mighty Blow, he's out. Whew, that's a big loss. You're right about that, Sage. And at least he will be able to sweep around the right side and likely get this movement up the pitch, and he should be getting close to the touchdown, I think.
Well, those 2 ghouls who are on the left side for the viewers, they can get to, across halfway. He's still got the mummy who can get very relevant. There's a couple of zombies lying around. He can get pretty far, but he can't get a dominant position there. And 2 or 3 turns from now, that mummy who made the blitz last turn is going to get relevant again as well. I would hate to be in RTSD's shoes right now.
Yeah, but as we've seen, though, RTSD can still play some Blood Bowl, right? So he can have this touchdown. Sure, he's going to be out his big piece that can definitely do damage, but he's not out of it. He can still play some good positional Blood Bowl. Now, when you down 1 piece on offense, not a big deal since you can govern where the ball is going. And even though it is, 11 on 10 at the moment, not a tremendous deal. It's not until you start going down 2 or 3 that it is a big deal.
True, but the Undead still wield their 2 Strength 5 Mighty Blows, and without being able to snowball off your own claw palm, you're going to see the attrition battle becoming much more one-sided, most likely. I think RTSD might be second-guessing his decision not to dodge back after failing those 6 dice on the initial blitz. But of course, there's really no point. If the decision was correct before, it's still correct even if it failed.
Man, that was definitely a big gutsy move. Hitting him with I was actually thinking about that, the level 1 ghoul foul, but just as you said it, I was like, "You know what? Yeah, I think Sage is right. He's not gonna do it with the ghoul, is he?" And he did. Wow, that's
Well, I mean,
such a big
he's got
call.
he's got spares.
Yeah.
It's he's got
He's got
4 of them
spares.
anyway, so they're basically linemen for him.
Yeah. A very high movement allowance. And able to get there, get the boot in, and boy, paid off. And didn't even get called by the ref even.
Yeah, very, very successful.
Right here, Necromantic team poised to go around the right side. But as Chad pointed out, yes, I mean, you want to try to hold the ball for as long as you possibly can before you get the score in. This is definitely normal Blood Bowl. You don't want to score it when you see it. And that's just pretty much the wrong move unless maybe you can hold on defense or if you're elves or something.
So we see Silsei not moving the mummy to keep the flesh golem busy here, because that would have been one way to play this. Flesh golem, of course, strength 4, mummy strength 5, so that would have diverted a lot of strength away from the central play. Also, with the flesh golems being movement 4, if it's a race to get relevant again, the flesh golem does have a bit of a lead. But instead, Silsei chooses to keep the mummy a little bit further back and keep him in a position where he can get to the midfield next turn if he doesn't get marked himself.
Speaking of elves, you said before the World Cup began that you didn't like agility 3 pieces. What happened? You chose Undead.
Oh, I don't like agility 3 pieces, but I will play the format that I am given. I mean,
Oh, yeah?
I'm an elf coach and a little bit lizard coach, but knowing that there were going to be so many humans in the World Cup meta, I figured that lizards or undead would be the 2 main things to go with, and neither of those have agility 4.
Ah, okay. So that's what you went with. When you were talking before, I was just like, well, okay, well, I guess Sage is going to pick an elf team, and whether or not it be wood elves, dark elves, or whatever elves, then remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But then when you came out with Undead, I was just like, what?
Wood elves actually would do pretty well with this rule set. 4 normals is actually not that awful for them. They have access to plenty of dodge to begin with. You know, a dancer with strip ball, a dancer with tackle. That you've got the basics. But given how so many people were incentivized to go humans from this rule set, that is a really, really rough matchup for Wood Elves. Having to face Mighty Blow Tackle, having to face a bunch of guards, having to face Sure Hands, it just means that they're a very hard counter for the Wood Elf team. And this is why I decided not to go with that. And Dark Elves with 4 normal rolls are just not near to their peak enough to be worth considering for me.
Yes, indeed. The mummy with the removal on the zombie, opening things up to the ball carrier. As you can see, going to get marked up twice. Will likely assure a blitz on the backfield or at least a dodge away. So this is going to be a risky moment here for the Necromantic team, RTSD.
Yeah, so not quite as safe and advanced as he would have liked to see.
Yeah, and I think that was just due to the spreading of the field and the left side opening up and the right side. He just wanted to go for the screen, but when you put a screen here instead of having a cage, this is kind of what happens. You're going to see a couple players interface, but luckily it does have dodge skill on the ghoul and won't be too worse for wear. But 1 in 9, you could fail it.
Yep, most definitely. In fact, I remember doing so against Silsei. Turn 16, I believe. That was interesting. So,
oh man,
there is some room to maneuver. He's not going to be able to block himself free, which means he will have to rely on that 1 in 9. But there's 2 sides he can go to. One of them is right close to the mummy, who is still very much able to act next turn. And the other side is next to the other mummy. So basically the only place that he has that is not immediately on top of a mummy is the midfield, which means both of them can get to him. So the being outstrengthed and not having a tool for attrition is still very much hurting RTSD. If I had to guess, I would say he might wind up not scoring at all this half.
he might be able to find some type of cage in the center, just left of it, with the flesh golem and the zombie, but looks like the zombies moved up there, so I guess not. So scratch that one. Now, this is going to be a very difficult moment here. RTSD already in trouble. Not really thinking too much here. He wanted to get that. He wanted to get that hit off with the claw, mighty blow piling on, but then afterwards was like, oh no, ball carrier.
A 2 die that would have gone into a 1 die with the frenzy, but doesn't, leaving a ghoul down, but he's quite all right, and opening up room for another block against the tackle white. However, the ball carrier is still very, very much.
Dodge away.
Dodge skill saves him for now. GFI is good.
1-9.
Yeah.
Wow. He's still blitzable though, but got himself a little bit out. Okay, there we go. Yes, he needs to get away from that square. Yes, some spicy dodging indeed here.
So even with a 3+ dodge, the white cannot blitz the ghoul. Right now he could do so with a 4+ dodge, but I guess the flesh golem is going to make that harder still.
And we're gonna see how Silsei wants to play it. Does he want to do some dodges into there and maybe get to the ball? Now, yes, it is risky, but we have seen some players do it, or I should say, some coaches, I should say, and it might be on the agenda, but I don't think so. Though at this high level, you don't want to leave it up to Nuffle. You want to make sure you play as strong, as solidly as possible against these higher tiered veteran players. And there we go. And he's just gonna make sure a little bit more.
Yeah, so now a blitz from the tackle white onto the ball carrier would require a 5+ dodge with no built-in reroll. Definitely still an option, but I think it's too risky because you're basically betting on the outcome of that, whereas you've got a pretty stable dominant position if you go for the more safe and sensible plays.
Yes, and here's the thing there, the bottom right, now the 5 straight mummy just going to be a bit out of position. And
I could actually see a blitz on the guard white in the center just to get the mummy into a better spot, but no, that is not what's happening.
Yeah, he went and put a lot of marks on the ball, and so he's a little bit out of position now that the dodge was successful, but still putting that pressure on and making them do that dodge, all pretty much worth it here. Undead is a little bit going to be scrambling to get to the left side to get to that ball if he possibly could do so.
I assume we're going to see a mark on the tackle werewolf, the remaining werewolf, I could say.
Or maybe a blitz on him, huh? I mean, that'd be nice too, right? Get the ghoul on him. Get the blitz from the white.
I expect that we might see a blitz from the mummy who then attacks the ball carrier again. You could even mark the flesh golem on the left with a blodge ghoul if he really wants to.
Yeah, that's true. The mummy, 5 strength, hard to get rid of.
Absolutely.
So he can get that blitz off on either piece, really. Get him down. Touch that ball carrier again. Make life difficult. But I don't know.
Maybe you were right. I mean, marking a tackler with a dodge is definitely less than ideal. Nope, we're not seeing that blitz at all.
Yeah.
Control.
And the thing about that is the mummy gets that blitz off, right? And he hits him down. He marks the ball carrier, but then there's no real help that comes along except for maybe another ghoul. But the flesh gown might be able to just get the blitz off himself and hit that mummy down. So
yeah, that's why I was looking at the Gotrek, the ghoul on the line of scrimmage, to actually keep that fleshy busy for a turn.
Coming around the backside like that, yeah. That would have been a good play too. But the blitz coming on the werewolf, like I said.
Yes, you called it right.
Woohoo! It's like I know how to play Blood Bowl, guys.
Got one.
Got one.
So I guess the ghoul is probably going to fill out the gap between the mummy on the left flank and the squad in the center.
Yeah. Silsei just going to continue to try to play it strong and solid, and he could possibly let the Necromantic team get the score here as he tries to beat up the Necros. But at this point, Undead team up 2 players on the pitch. Probably feels like he should play for the defense and stifle the score if he can do it.
Yeah, I think Silsei is definitely hoping to end this drive 0-0 or 1-0 ahead. Okay, that works, I guess.
He's just saying, you know what, RTSD, if you want the left side and you want to score it, go ahead, and more or less get to the end of this first half, and maybe if RTSD does score it with his Necromantic team, be 1-1 by the end of the first half, and that'll be slightly advantageous actually for the Undead team.
Taking the left isn't trivial though. I mean, he's basically got 3 players there, and the 4th and 5th who could join him there are the marked tackle Wolf, who only has a 1 die, and the marked by tackle Ghoul, who needs a 3+ to dodge out. So getting more players to that left flank is not easy, and those 3 players alone, one of which is holding the ball, are going to have a very hard time dealing with the mummy who's holding down the fort on his own there. So there is no fast and far advance here, just a slow and semi-safe one.
There's the blitz coming out from the Flesh Golem. Just want to keep that white in check. And unfortunately, no down dice, but able to push him away. And then, you know what? Let's follow it after all and get the assist up.
Yeah, he needs to create a screened space where he controls the game a bit more than the Undead do. And looks like he's working on that right now.
Nice. Finally, a little bit of a break here. Necromantic team hasn't had a break since the first round of the line of scrimmage, I think.
It doesn't look like it's going to be enough, though.
Well, he'll be able to come back with the ball carrier, get right behind the fleshies.
Currently, both mummies are able to get into a very, very relevant situation here. Ooh, and the 1 die is a skull, instantly rerolled into a knockdown. Yeah. But that leaves the Ghoul, who's next to a tackler, and the Wolf, who is currently prone and boxed in a position where they can't really do all that much.
Both these teams receiving an extra reroll earlier, and that's kind of why that earlier blitz with the piling on Mighty Blow Werewolf was actually rerolled, because he was afforded an extra reroll in there. The 1 die, I think he needed to get that down, but unfortunately Skull forcing another reroll being lost.
Yeah,
but
so this is where we see the mummies get super relevant. I mean, the one on the right can get onto a fleshy and the white. The one on the left needs only a single GFI to get on both fleshies. The guard white being stunned does make outstrengthening a little bit harder, but I think we're going to see a very strong push to connect from the Undead this turn.
Yeah, RTSD might want to take this one back here, because once the Undead team does begin to solidify their defense once again, then he's going to find it very difficult to move that ball up. As I said, down 2 on the pitch and already a little bit outstrength starting off into this match. I mean, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, and with both of the receiving threats currently prone and marked, there's not a lot to go forward.
He might actually come out from the Undead team, maybe more fouls. I mean, heck, it might be done. Zombies are nearby.
I could see one of the zombies make a foul that turn.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten any removals yet on his team, so why not?
Here comes the mummy going exactly where I expected. Ooh, that is huge. That stun alone is massive. Wow.
It's as if you play Blood Bowl, hey?
So,
yes.
Are we going to see the other mummy move in as well?
Where, oh where will the ball carrier go now? That's going to be the tough question. Before the Flesh Golems were kind of holding it up here in the midfield, but now with the stun, 9 on 11 really is poking out. Poor Leonard McCoy.
So I do think we might see this turn end on. Okay, I had expected that mummy to move forward. But then again, just by being there, he's already keeping that flank as a no-go area, essentially. Another foul? This
There
time
it
it's a
is. There's
stun
the
and a
foul.
removal. At least it was a
Nice.
zombie. At least it was a zombie fouling this time, but that means that the undead have now used up their bench. Any further removals that stick will mean playing with fewer players in the subsequent drives.
I love that foul. Even though he got fouled out, I mean, it did produce a stun, and that's one less person that the Necromantic team can utilize for this possession coming up, which is such a tough moment here for RTSD. Where is he going to go with the ball? I just don't know. I mean, the blitz through for the mummy. He's going to be stifled yet again for a turn or two, and that is very uncomfortable. You want to just start thinking about where you want to drive the ball, and at the moment, Necromantic team really has not that many options to go to at the moment. Sure, you can maybe blitz through with the flesh golem and then maybe sit down right in front of mummy where the mummy's giving him lots of space, but then undead team able to just kind of wrap around and get on top of that ball carrier.
To do that and stay safe for one turn, he'd need the white to succeed on a dodge out. And even then, he's going to get stuck, probably. But staying in place also looks pretty dangerous. I do think we'll see that white try a dodge, but not until safer plays have been made. Indeed, the fleshy blitzes. He's basically the only guy who can.
Yeah. He's the only one that can really get a hold on this defense or offensive defense of the ball, really.
Yeah. The safe offense. But he can't afford to use that fleshy to mark the mummy on the left, because then he doesn't have anything to screen off the ball carrier with.
He needs to think about where he wants to go now. At this point, he might actually just start thinking about moving along the left side and just put like I guess a half cage sort of, but not against the sideline.
Yeah, and then using the guard white to dodge out and try and get the back of that formation safe. It's forward progress. It brings your team a little bit closer together, but it means you're getting right next to the mummy, who will be bringing in plenty of backup on the next turn. Yes, indeed.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
Oh, a GFI.
There's the side cage.
A GFI from the zombie could make this an actual sideline cage, but that's a scary one. I mean, mummy blitzing in, ghoul white backing up, and you're stuck.
And of course, anyone who watches me know how much I hate side cages. I hate them so much. But there's no real alternative. There's nothing else, I think.
Oh, he's not. He's not going for that. This is just part of the screen. And that fleshy is only that far left because he's got stand firm and he can make that side a little bit safer than the zombie can. That's why the GFI was there.
And I think that's a really good play here from RTSD. Just get closer to that left side. That's the only spot that the undead team.
This is big. This is big because the white has a blitz on the ball. If this fails, the dodge works. Oh, that is huge. That was so crucial.
Gonna get the screen off from the white. That was definitely a must. He had to dodge out with the white.
Yeah, I think I started my turn by describing that he would end his turn with that dodge, and so he did.
And he had to reroll that. The white on the other side, Lemase, he was in range.
Stunned guys get back. One player sent off helps a little bit. Yeah, this is a pretty obvious spot.
But 3 more turns left. 1 reroll left. But I mean, RTSD pulling it all out just so that he can have a chance here by the end. And I think at this point, RTSD may just score it if given the opportunity.
Yeah, Silsei has to be careful. If he goes full ham on defending against where the ball is now, then the ghoul and the wolf, who are currently prone in the mid-back, might just wind up being receiving threats. So he needs to be careful to balance blocking both sides of that coin, basically.
Yeah, and I don't expect any more fouls because now, since that fouled out zombie has gone out, no more bench for the undead team. You don't want to go down in numbers.
if there's a trade, so you lose a player and the opponent loses a player, then that definitely favors the Necro at this point, because they succeeded on their regen, they still have their bench, and the Undead are down to 11 at best.
That's the thing here about the Undead team and the Necromantic generation. Not only that, but a death injury, you get a free zombie out of it, and that's actually kind of what saved RTSD in the last game because the Lizard team actually able to get a bunch of armor breaks, and because he had the death injury earlier, he was able to have an extra zombie on the pitch and save the 11-on-11.
Yeah, in this matchup, the only 6 players who can be turned into zombies are the ghouls on both teams.
Yes, indeed.
So are we going to see the mummy tag the flesh golem? Oh, and the ball. That makes sense. Are we going to see the tackler move up to the ball carrier then?
Yeah, we're likely going to see that. That's
Yes.
exactly what he envisioned.
And the good thing about this position is that if the ball carrier dodges forward, the tackler can still blitz back and catch him. And while he's next to a prone zombie, that prone zombie can be blocked off, so the tackler is actually free to do pretty much whatever he wants. There comes the ghoul blocking the forward progress along the sideline. This means that all he has left to worry about are those players in the center who might form a receiving.
I really hate the Necromantic team's position. I mean, not that it's against any RTSD's skill or anything like that, but it's just that, boy, the werewolf and the ghoul, they're being isolated, and there's no real good place to go with the ball. I mean, it's just even the couple of zombies to come help out the guys that were the receiving threat, the werewolf and the ghoul. They're just not really relevant, and there's a big stun on him.
It's basically the stun on the flesh golem last turn that left him in such a dire position. He needed to get away from that central position, needed to get forward, but without much chance. Ooh, just a push doesn't really matter much, because the point here was to free up the right. Here. We might actually see a play off of that.
We're probably going to see another dodge going back to the center of the pitch. I think that's the only real safe place. But
tries for a 1-die with the guard assist from the white, but the strength differential here is making the difference. If this had been a knockdown, it would have allowed for
the reroll, but this time
and a removal.
This time
that's harsh.
He's not going to get what he wants this time. And I have to say, 3 times where he used the rerolls, and he kind of got what he wanted. But now this time, not going to be it. You attempt Nuffle one too many times, and he's going to take the bait. And this is absolutely...
He was stuck. He needed to do something. The 1-die wasn't bad. The reroll decision was very, very risky, but it was punished so hard. He's next to the tackle. Man. He's got guard on there. He's going to suffer 2 dice on the ball with block and tackle, which fail, but the mummy can still do another if he doesn't reroll this. He can even, in theory, go for a surf, although that's going to be pretty difficult.
Now he's got some decisions, but Silsei opting to keep the safe roll. He's still got another 2-die and a blitz.
Yeah, because of the guard, he can't make this a 3-die, but the 2-die with the block from the mummy might just be enough.
Yeah, it's just so many things on the dice that can get him down. The both down, the defender down.
In order to get a surf on this, he'd need a 4+ dodge with built-in reroll after a push from the mummy.
This is just a nightmare here, RTSD. Oh man, I don't know if I would have did that reroll. I probably would have kept that 1-die and then fine, I'll just dodge away and then just get out of danger. But I suppose what he really wanted was that 1-die.
The ghoul does not have block.
The 1-die push combination, trying to get his ghoul away from the tackle white. I think that was definitely the play that I was really searching for, but unfortunately not going to get it, and we'll get the ball out. The mummy.
And Silsei actually has the time to score from here as well. If he picks it up now, he's already relatively safe and fast enough to have the potential of scoring in 2 turns after this one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It's definitely not over yet.
not sure I like that blitz because it essentially frees up that guard white to do something next turn.
It does. But I think the ghoul coming around the left side for the pickup. I mean, it's incoming.
Yeah, it's incoming, but the white was stuck until he blitzed him free. Because he was wedged between the tackle white and the zombie. But since that blitz, he's no longer stuck, so he can 3+ dodge blitz out if needed.
Yeah, if the ghoul picks it up here, the white can actually blitz now, and he has a 1-die blitz.
Andy, the Necro took a early Kaz on their werewolf, which regent, and they took a KO. But losing the ball is, of course, huge. But yes, the effects are mostly constrained to this drive, going from status quo of leading by 1 to the downside of suffering by 1 is definitely a big problem. But if the second half has a similar pattern, at least it won't snowball into the attrition situation. Basically, it's not like RTSD has lost half his players and needs to play a second half crippled. It just means that he's going to be behind by a touchdown, most likely.
You know, I'm surprised that he went for those 2 GFIs here and not do the 2-die block earlier with the zombie. But I guess he didn't want to get 1 and 9. But still, I mean, I'm a bit surprised he didn't do the 2-die block before he did the 2 GFIs, because he would have had maybe the zombie to come over to do what the ghoul just did.
I like
and
that.
Now it's going to make that white blitz a little bit more difficult.
Yeah. So the white blitz is a 4+1 die where a pow push isn't good enough. So that's okay. That's not tackle. So ghoul getting slightly relevant, maybe not really.
He has to hope for this 4. Not even a what is it? Not even a 4+, is it?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's 4+.
He
4
can make it
1-die blitz.
He could make it 2 dice, but then his sure hands ghoul would already be out.
But no re-rolls, so unfortunately rolls the 1 on the 3+.
Yeah, the touchdown is now guaranteed for RTSD. There is no way that.
Unfortunately,
I'm sorry, guaranteed for Silsei. There is no way that RTSD can do anything to prevent it, which means he goes 1-0 behind on his receiving half. It also means that he gets only a single chance to recover the knocked out flesh golem. Because normally, if you score on your own turn 8, your opponent gets a turn 8, and then you have another KO roll. But on a stolen drive, that does not happen if it ends turn 8. So, very, very precarious. RTSD definitely looking like he's going to leave the tournament with only $1,000.
Only, yeah. The Undead team here does have a dominating performance here in this first half. Nice removals there to help out with that defensive effort and was able to get the ball. But this is far from over. This is why we play Blood Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. You never freaking know. I have seen people come back from this deficit before, and it's really because at the end of the day, it is still a dice game, and anything can happen.
Definitely. If the damage starts working for the Necro early in the second half, then offense for the Undead will be pretty tough. And,
yeah, Necromantic team will have his full complement as well. He's going to have his bench come back. All of his guys that did get injured are back from the regeneration roles, so he's going to have his full complement. He'll be able to play defense.
He has a 50-50 chance of having to play with a single fleshy, though, and if that guy doesn't wake up, that's hard. It's very, very hard.
It will be tougher, but as long as he's still got that piling on mighty blow and might be able to get some more removals himself, then that would be better. But hopefully this time RTSD might be able to err on the side of caution, put him a little bit more safe, or at least bring a little escort with him so that he doesn't get fouled so easily.
No, the blitz was definitely the right play. The reroll as well. Not dodging out was debatable, but he had to make that play, and not getting the knockdown in the first 6 block dice was definitely very, very rough luck for RTSD, which has wound up determining the entire drive, pretty much.
Yeah.
The
No,
thing
I mean,
is,
I definitely can't say that he did a bad thing there, but yeah.
yeah. The thing is that once the Clawpome was out, Silsei could also make much freer use of his mummies and his strength advantage, because he didn't have to worry about, am I giving up a situation where, with a bunch of garters, I might be giving a 1 die into 2 die blitz on my mummy, because he has to prevent that at all costs. All of a sudden, it's just Claw instead of Clawpome, and that's not nearly as scary.
Yeah, and of course RTSD, how can you expect that he's going to pull the level 1 ghoul and get the foul? You think that, okay, there's going to be no zombies around me, so this blitz has to be good.
No, but he had, if he hadn't gone for the ghoul foul, he still had an option to surf it or to punch it with Mighty Blow. I mean, if he'd rolled them both down in a push, we might have actually seen the wolf get surfed instead of fouled. That wolf was in a very, very bad spot.
Indeed. Look at that. Got the 7 on the armor break. Had that been the Mighty Blow Claw, man, that would have been a good one.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, we'll have to see about RTSD's defensive effort in the second half. Not over yet, but looking good. I mean, obviously, if I had to choose which side I'd be on, I would definitely be on the Undead side. But not out of it yet, Necromantic.
Time for a random mummy removal? Nope. Just... Huh? Did he just choose to push over the knockdown? That was odd.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah. That was interesting.
Like,
let's call it that.
Like, wait a minute. Was that a 2 red die block or something?
So, will we see a blitz? We kind of have to, don't we?
What happened there?
Misclick, must be.
Yeah. RTSD confirmed drunk, is that what it is? It had to have been a misclick, but... Man, that... Wow.
You can get 3 dice on the ghoul there with block Mighty Blow. That looks legit. But it looks like he's going for a 3 die on a zombie instead.
Looks like it. Well, that's the thing about Blood Bowl, again, too, is that, okay, sure, there's a luck element into this game here when it comes down to it. But, I mean, you try to mitigate it as much as possible. And not only that, it's all about psychology as well, right? I mean, you need to keep it together. You're not out of the game yet. It's going to be 11-on-11 defense coming up.
Yeah,
and
I wouldn't know the first thing. I wouldn't know the first thing about psychology, but this is this is definitely stressful for RTSD, and I could see how he might be tilted at this point. He did suffer some very, very awful luck.
1-0, Silsei scores it on the Necromantic team's offensive half, and as we've said, it's not over yet, but the Necromantic team definitely on the back foot. Can he come back? He's got to play aggressive or die trying. So at least, you know what? We're going to be in for a very entertaining second half. Because, Necromantic team's going to have to jump in there and get the ball out of there.
Silsei played a very solid defensive half. Oh, the fleshy comes back. That's good. That gives RTSD a fighting chance on defense. That makes all the difference. So, Necro's setting up. Undead will receive the ball this time. Necro has a full squad and 1 player bench. Might see some fouls on ghouls, I guess. Or a gang foul on a mummy if he gets the opportunity.
You know, I've been put in this position before, and I mean, at this point, you got to pull out all the stops. You just got to get the hits down and foul those key pieces if possible. Heck, just foul any piece with zombies and hopefully get some removals yourself, and then make this defensive effort a lot easier, because if you don't do the fouls, you don't risk, then this is just going to be a slow grind. GG. Maybe a blitz on the kickoff, that'll help.
That would definitely make things a lot more interesting.
It would be. And that's another thing here. Like, a lot of people say, oh boy, blitz on kickoff should be banned. But I mean, these are the times where the blitz really helps out the defensive effort and makes it a lot better game if you're on the back foot like this. And all the Undead team now needs to do is just hold.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see Silsei. Well, I say definitely, but I'm not 100% convinced due to his playstyle. But I would expect Silsei to try and be as conservative as he can. All he has to do is not lose the ball, and he's won. Whereas the Necro can't afford to lay back and play normal defense. They have to play aggressive defense, because if they don't get a steal and a touchdown, nothing is happening. So we're definitely going to see RTSD be the risk seeker and Silsei be risk averse when it comes to the second half of this thrilling semifinal.
And see, this is where having a lot of experience here in Blood Bowl matters, because now you're just at this kind of opposite pressure where you just need to win. You just need to prove the win now. And that's not always easy to do in a game like Blood Bowl, because the game is going to last for another at least 30 more minutes, right? And all you need to do is not lose the ball.
Yep.
And that's not easy.
High kick makes that easier too. All the way in the back, though.
Well, that's okay if it goes out of bounds. So.
Yep, so it does, which means there's another touchback.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate for RTSD. And of course, the bloodbowl gonna get it.
Yeah, so he is choosing to send the ball forward, which is fair enough, I guess. Easier to huddle around.
Actually, I like that. Get the cage up, make it to where the Necromantic team's gonna have to prove it a lot more, and butt his heads into the mummies and the white and the ghouls and all that stuff. So not gonna keep it in the backfield where the werewolves might be able to use their movement allowance advantage and try to get to the backfield to the ball carrier. So I really like that a lot.
So, what is he going to blitz, if anything? I guess the tackle white... sorry, the guard white would be the obvious blitz target here.
Well, at least the Undead team get the bash here and try to take down some of these guys in the line of scrimmage first. And the armor breaks. If it proves to be more on the Undead side on this turn, then this will definitely be over. But I'm hoping for a little more fireworks in this semifinal.
All Silsei has to do is stand there and hold the ball. Let the Necro take all the risks. Minimize their chances.
I mean, it's what you said in our original cast, what I think almost nearly a month ago, where this is what you do against the players that come into the game, for the first time. They always say, "Oh, I can't stand my luck. Why is Nuffle hate me?" But it's just one of those things where you're a veteran player. You make the other person do the roles, and eventually, it's not going to work.
Silsei decided against blitzing altogether, which I can kind of see because he wants his central formation to be stronger. But I would have still. Oh, no block. Wolf punished. But at least this time the reroll works and gets an injury without even having to pile on. Straight up 11 into 11. Miss next. No regen. So that is definitely a good start. This is what RTSD wants to do every turn in order to whittle down those defenses and get to that squishy center with the ball.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I expected to see from the werewolf, was just go in there, use the artillery, the mighty blow, and the piling on if necessary. But if not the piling on, then just tuck the werewolf back away and then just keep him safe and live to fight another day. And with that removal, I don't know if we're going to see I don't think we're going to see too much more out of this defense except for a little movement. He's got some time, but of course RTSD really wants to get moving as soon as he possibly can.
Look at that zombie dodge like it's nothing.
Oh,
And
4+
another.
dodges. Where was that 4+ dodge earlier when he needed it? The 1-die blitz.
Well, that was Desperation anyway.
Yeah, Nuffle looks into your eyes of desperation. He laughs at you.
So can he get dice on the... he could actually get a good punch on the mummy next, maybe. I mean, as soon as the undead start running out of zombies, good punches on the high value targets might open up, and that is really what RTSD has to look for.
Yeah, but moreover, RTSD with those dodges kind of disengaged from the cage. I mean, I can't blame him for doing it, but at the same time, he does need to get aggressive, and being aggressive means basing the opponent.
No, I don't think that's the case at all. He needs to be aggressive by removing a player a turn until he can get to the good stuff.
Till he can get the goods.
Simply getting 2 of your zombies 2-die blocked with Mighty Blow and block doesn't really accomplish much. And yes, standing in the way is not enough, but having the players remaining to get your kills in and to open them up is way better. Thing is, normally if you stand next to them, then what you accomplish is that they can't progress. But they don't need to progress. All they need to do is hold fast and not die. So Mummy blitzes the Fleshy, but the Fleshy is fine. And stand firm means that he's actually got a guard on a high value target now. So that wolf is already starting to salivate looking at that mummy.
You know he wants to get that hit in. Yeah, and definitely the biggest thing is you want to base the opponent where he'll have to make those 1 in 9 blocks where he could fail it, instead of both of the mummies would block only a 1 in 36 that he's going to fail it. So yeah, you don't want to be standing next to those guys.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was looking at earlier. I think we're going to see a blitz on that mummy from the claw foam, and if that is good, then that means that the time to connect more has come. Because once that mummy is out, the 2 fleshies can suddenly do some real disruption of the steady formation, basically.
And look at that, the ghoul coming around the right side. I was about to say maybe the werewolf can come around the backside, but the ghoul comes around, get the assist, and kind of takes away the backside blitz instead of the front side blitz.
Yeah, but there's still plenty of room for assists because the fleshy can just stand up and still guard.
Yeah, I was just saying the backside blitz where he can push the mummy forward into his own camp.
Yeah, preventing that is good. And getting the fleshy down helps too. Because at least that way he's immobilized. If he were just already standing there and able to block after the mummy might die, then that would be brutal.
Now he's looking at it.
Blitzing the mummy, before he had the option to maybe chain push the mummy on the blitz, but now he does not. And that means that on a... if he starts off with a 2-die but rolls a push, he's actually pushing into the guard white, which is why he's bringing in this guard fleshy here, so that on the push he still gets that third assist from that side, leaving him with a 1-die instead of a half-die on the follow-up block.
You go. He will base up some of these other opponents here, where, as we said before, you want to base the ghouls and the zombies, but not necessarily the mummy. But here comes the blitz on that block and guard mummy in the front.
Yeah.
Let's see if he's going to be able to get a removal. If he does, this could change the game.
Oh, the block dice are good at least. And the follow-up. And...
hit here.
KO! That'll do!
That'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do, Donkey. That'll do.
Are we going to see him dodge out, or are we going to see him remain behind? He's only got 2 rerolls. But of course he is a very high value target there. Oh, he does go for the dodge, regretting the time he didn't last time. But armor holds. Yeah.
Armor holds. Nice. And that was definitely a key dodge away here. Didn't want to get his piece in danger. I mean, it's as we said in the beginning of the game. I mean, without that piece, it is such a different game for the Necromantic team. It's so much more difficult to win it.
Absolutely.
It is absolutely game on, though. Mummy out. 2 pieces. And as we've seen before, 2 pieces down. Now suddenly the offense has to kind of do something. He might actually have to start moving the ball up and threaten the score before he just kind of hold the ball. But now Undead team has to kind of move the ball up and get it out of his area.
Yeah, so the basing that you were hoping to see earlier has happened now, and it comes at a much more opportune time. So the Necro are keeping the Undead close, although, you know, the 2 base players who are next to the guards are ghouls themselves, so they can reposition with relative ease. And with the werewolf being down on his own dodge, he can't get very far this turn. The tackle wolf might see a blitz, but I guess the flesh golem on the left side. Oh, let me go on and switch views again. By the way, sorry about that.
Oh yeah,
because of course we want to take the perspective of the team that is receiving. Sorry, viewers. Yeah. So the tackle wolf might very well be the one blitzing here, unless a good opportunity for James T. Kirk to blitz something close remains.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
And that kind of just pushes the issue that, look, Undead team, they kind of need to score it now, or at least move the ball up, because Necro team, you can't sit back. Piling on, mighty blow. And look at that, the ghoul's actually saying, hey, hit me if you dare. I dare ya. Necros has a small chance here. It's not an easy shot, but now he has a shot. And as we said before, I mean, or at least I have, I mean, it's just keep the head together in this type of match. I mean, how many times have I seen in the ladder where people just kind of gives up after the first half? Don't give up, guys. You could still win the game.
He could, in theory, get dice on the other mummy. And since it's his second GFI, yeah, no, that doesn't work, because there's no guard that can reach that spot. So that's not happening.
Yeah, and I think there's going to be a blitz here on the ghoul on the right, but probably from the tackle werewolf and not necessarily from the piling on Mighty Blow, but we'll see. Mighty Blow and piling on but only a defender down, they can take him down.
Well, both down works. It's just, you know, you're not piling on anything.
You're not piling on anything.
Yeah. So this typical column defense works very well if your objective is to prevent the other team from scoring. But that's not good enough. He's going to need to do better than that. So next turn we're going to see probably a lot more connecting from the Necro.
He's setting up to do the hit on the ghoul, because that ghoul is all the way to the right side. He don't want to be out of position, I think.
I think the tackle's going to do that. I think the Clopome, well, he hasn't activated the Clopome yet, but I would expect the Clopome to get behind that Garter and actually have the tackle blitz the ghoul.
Yeah, I would keep the Mighty Blow piling on closer to the cage, so that if I have a high value piece, then I'll blitz him instead in the next turn, but still use the tackle werewolf and hit the ghoul.
I think he's still considering it, because he also knows that status quo won't save him, and he needs to take risks. So fishing for a POW, yeah. But I really don't like the play that would leave the Clopome that far from the value targets.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he kind of has to. I think he kind of has to, because piling on Mighty Blow, he can't get to the cage at the moment to get a nice blitz off, so he's just gonna have to hang back.
And he also knows that the tackler isn't going to get a shot at the ball carrier next turn. Oh, he does. Oh, he goes for that one. Oh, skulls, both down, not good enough. Taking the push. Does he get a POW? He does not.
Oh,
James T. Kirk gets stuck again. Uses up a reroll. Might want to actually dodge out here, I guess. Again.
Oh, wow.
Risky, no reroll.
That right there is... I guess he wanted to attack the cage and get in there, but I mean,
Yeah, I really don't like this. Against the ghoul, the block tackle is just plenty of value.
Only a 30% chance with the defender down only.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you're saying, okay, well, do I want to use... He's got the frenzy, so he's pretty much got the inherent almost 50%. But then if you don't get either of those, it's kind of like, well, now what? Yeah. Oh, boy.
So we could actually see Silsei do the mummy mighty blow block against the scariest wolf. Because if he gets that out, then
yeah,
his
the game's so much easier.
I could even see him pull back a little bit from here, keep his options open. Yeah, here comes the blitz. Strength 5, mighty blow, good enough. Either one works. I think he's going to take the both down. Better fouling and less engaging of the fleshy.
Maybe. And this is the thing here where perhaps the zombies earlier may have just taken the basing instead of...
Oh, bye, puppy. James T. Kirk is out again. KO instead of Kaz this time, but it doesn't really matter because regen has about as good a chance as KO recovery. So...
RTSD. No. And, again, probably should have based the cage there. And, yeah, it was a mummy, but at least it wasn't a free-roaming mummy where he can get those blitzes off. And
I'm sorry to say this, my British friends, but I don't think it's coming home.
Well, the French are going to be celebrating this one here, I think.
Again.
Again.
So, we're going to see lots of high-risk balls-to-the-walls plays from RTSD trying to force something to happen, even though he doesn't really have the means.
Yeah, we're going to see more desperation plays, which is kind of fun because you never know, right? I mean, 6s are always a pass. 1s are always a fail. It could happen. But, of course, don't you guys go away. More semifinal World Cup action to happen during taking on Ornan, Orcs versus Humans, the classic matchup. Hell, it's on the box, guys. Don't you guys go away too far.
Absolutely, that's going to be awesome, and that's what we're casting right after this match, or about 5 minutes after the end of this match. And of course, the day after tomorrow, Thursday, we're actually going to be seeing the final of the Blood Bowl 2 World Cup 2018, and that is going to be super exciting.
$3,000 Pimp Gaming PC, Asus Republic Gamers, the sponsor.
And that PC alone is is worth way more than those $3,000. I mean, it's a monster.
Yeah, well, let's hope that this time they give proper power outlets instead of just the European ones, because I think the last time we saw the gaming PCs, they were built for the European power supplies and not necessarily for the North American ones.
So you're saying they had proper power systems? I see.
Oh, you guys across the pond, you guys are always a mystery to us.
So Ghoul disconnecting. No need to rush forward and be a scoring threat. All he has to do is hang back and be safe. Of course, if you were playing
the werewolf.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
if you were playing an agility team, you might actually think, I'm just going to score the 2-0 when I get the shot. But with an agility 3 team, you really only want to do so if it's safe. The risk of a 1 in 9 on a handoff play is just too great to give away a position as strong as this one.
So we might actually see a blitz on the ball here. Yeah, might see a blitz on the ball.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a 3+ with some GFIs from the tackle?
Well, maybe the Flesh Golem takes down the white on a luck roll and then a blitz in.
No, then there's still a ghoul in the way. But I think if the golem gets next to the carrier by blocking the ghoul on a 1 die, yeah, you can't get that 1 die, can you? Because of the tackle.
That was that darn guard mummy there. But
But the tackle wolf does actually have an option. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he'd have to make 2 dodges down that flank as well. Yeah, that's not great. So
maybe a 2 red die for the push.
There's no great shots here. That's for sure.
There's no easy shots, but I think I'd do it. 2 red die on the white, the dodge around, past the ghoul and white, into
Problem is that getting the white down isn't trivial either, because he's next to both the ghoul and the mummy. I think he's gonna have to whittle away instead of going for the daring shots now, much as he's going to want to out of his frustration. I think peeling away defenses makes more sense. Oh, yeah.
Very true. Very true.
See,
finally.
Spock knows how it's done. He's no Kirk.
See?
He's the brains of the operation, not the bravado. There we go.
Get him down.
No armor break, no problem. Still got tackle on the ball. On both ghouls, actually. And the white could come in and back that up. And then he's actually also got 2 dice on... 1 die on the mummy, but he can get that up to 2. And that is actually quite some pressure there. However, if that fails, it does leave the right flank woefully undefended. So we're probably going to see the Sure Hands ghoul swing around to the right to protect and advance from that side.
It's a good place here, so nice and strong.
Yeah, here comes the white.
Gonna keep the pressure up. That's good stuff.
This is now a 1 die because of the tackle. White still anti-assisting, but a zombie could turn that into a 2 die against the mummy.
I have to say, he's only still going to be up 1 person here, the Necromantic team, but he's got to make it feel like 20, and he's doing it at the moment. Flesh golems, great spots here. Withstand firm even. Always a difficult time to deal with if you're trying to move your guys around. Werewolf, white in good spots. He's probably going to have to end up dodging it himself.
Yeah, I really like the tackle on the 2 ghouls backed up by the garter, but if the mummy doesn't go down, then the garter's not going to stay there, which makes it way weaker, which is why I expected the 2 die on the mummy. But right now it looks like it's not going to be that unless he is willing to make a GFI with that last zombie. He makes it a 1 die on the ghoul.
Oh, 1 die on the ghoul, and actually is going to reroll that, so no more rerolls left for RTSD.
But this does mean that he's got guards and stand firm and tackle onto the ball right now.
Yeah, unfortunately going to get a little bit nuffled there, so we'll spend the last reroll. Pretty much a force. He had to do it, but he's in a great spot now.
Yeah, his 1 dice have not been very great. Are we going to see a foul? We're going to see a foul. He has to turn things to his advantage, but no, a 6 is not enough.
Nothing.
Needs more assists.
I like that right there as well. I mean, just take away the options, the ghouls for the undead team. They're the ball carriers, and they can do daring plays if need be.
I think we're going to see an escape play from Silsei.
At least RTSD has given the pressure and trying to make it to where he has a chance at the ball. If he fails his dodge, then it could be the touchdown the other way.
He does have the option of 2 dying the tackle wolf, which makes the ghoul a lot safer. The alternative would be a blitz. No, yeah, so he's going for the... I guess it makes sense because he doesn't need to score. So then the guard white is probably blitzing this.
Yeah.
And then the ghoul at least has the dodge reroll to get away from the scary fleshy.
So now he'll have his 1 in 9 failure instead of the 33% failure rate.
And the tackler being down means that he's got way more safe spots to go to as well. Does he still have movement left though? Yeah, he's got 1 movement left to make sure that the spot where he would fall down if he does fail is at least a little bit safer than it was. And then he still has some other...
He's going to dodge this pressure here, but I mean, he's still not out of the woods. I don't know why everyone gets a giggle out of that. But yeah, he needs to keep that ball safe, and Undead team, not really many places that he can kind of go to at this point. Except for back.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
he's
this
gonna
is
hide behind the guard or the tackle guy with the
tough
ball.
time for Silsei now.
He needs to take a couple of risks, but we've seen Silsei succeed because he just kept making his 1 in 9s before. I think. Oh!
No!
And a stun. It is on. RTSD might have a shot at this right now. The 1 in 9 deserts Silsei at a crucial time. Ball is on the ground. The Necro have 4 turns to score to get their steal going, but they do not have a reroll. Their Sure Hands Ghoul is very far away from the ball, so he's not getting it.
Nuffle gives and Nuffle takes, and here Nuffle gives RTSD a gift. Can he take advantage right here? Oh, that's going to be the question, and I think he can. Should be able to at least get that, at least one of the whites away, and then a ghoul pickup maybe. Gonna have to do some dodges himself, but hell, I mean, at least it's not 2 red dice into 20% chances of success.
I like this. Chain pushing his own fleshy into position to knock that white off of the ball. That is very, very nicely done. Still leaving him a 2-die here, but that would push someone onto the ball. He does have the ghoul free.
Good push combo. RTSD showing why he's in the World Cup. Able to spot these little things that can help win him the match. So Flesh Golem, 2-die block, easy. Nice defender down die. He's going to be able to get at least his own fleshy to mark the ball. And that makes things a whole lot more difficult.
Absolutely. He's still going to have trouble removing the tackler from the ball. He might have to go for a 1-die into 2-die blitz there with his own tackle. Now that means scattering the ball, but I think that's his best chance at... Because if the 1-die from the wolf is a push, then he gets the tackler onto the ball, which makes the fleshy assist. So then we'd see a 2-die follow-up. And depending on the scatter, the ghoul can pick it up.
I don't even think that he needs to do the pickup now. He can actually use the ghoul to do the assist, and he still get the 2-die blitz on the ball. I mean, not on the ball, on the white. And he might be okay-ish.
I don't think that's good enough. I think that's handing initiative back over to the Undead. Oh, it is what he's doing, though. It is what he's doing.
Because why risk the 1-die and put your tournament life right there?
I suppose the wolf could pick it up after the 2-die.
And not only that, it gives an extra mark on the ball. So I think it's pretty solid.
And the 2-die is a
and
push.
Then now you don't have to push him into the ball. There you go.
Not good enough, though.
Just a couple of pushes. But he does remove him off the ball, and that's going to be nice.
Are we going to see Spock dodge to try the pickup 3+3+, or are we going to see him try to maintain position of strength on the ball?
Yeah, and that's the troubling thing with Frenzy, right? You have to follow up.
Yep.
I don't think he tried for the ball pickup now. I don't.
He's got 3 turns. He's got 3 turns after this and a lot of distance to cross. He's not going to get rerolls later. Oh, but he does choose to remain in place. At
this point, though, playing for overtime, not such a bad idea, right? So.
Yeah, well, he needs to play for overtime. That's why he needs to get that ball across. He needs this touchdown, otherwise he's out.
3 more turns, no worries.
Well, Silsei has to be worried.
RTSD's, if anything, he's got balls.
Well, it's on the ground right now.
Well, yeah, balls on the ground. Proverbial balls.
Ghouls have a 1 in 9 shots, an 8 in 9 shot of dodging towards the ball. Can't really get an assist against the wolf without dodging out his white, though, and that's gotta hurt.
The dance is on. I love it. This is not easy. We thought that Silsei was going to be having an easier time, but boy, this is not whatsoever. And it's really due to James T. Kirk getting a couple of removals.
Well, he's also been a bit of a letdown, which is why there's no more rerolls.
A little bit. But yeah, he is where he is due to some removals.
I guess we might see a blitz from the Blodge Ghoul against the Rookie Ghoul to then set up an assist next to the ball. But
Yeah. And
he needs one player to actually go. Well, no. I think
at this moment,
I think he doesn't even try for the pickup.
Yeah, well, if anything, he's trying to get some sort of blitz into either the ghoul or the werewolf, or maybe just get the 2-die on the werewolf with the white and push him into the ball for a scatter, if anything.
Yeah, but for the white to get a 2-die, he'd have to dodge out his own white. Now, he does have the rerolls for that, of course, so it's less scary than it would be for RTSD. Yeah, maybe that's not bad.
That's right, Kabusta. I always stick to the 300 plan. Never give up, no surrender.
Okay, first dodge is good. This would have been the best player to pick up the ball, because he's got Blodge. But he was also prone, so he was the worst player to leave until the end for getting up.
No, I really don't see the ball pickup try here. I think he's just going to try to mark it up.
Yeah, it would have been possible on a 4+ after a block and a blitz, but this... Yeah, here comes the... No, he might...
Ooh, 2-die.
No
Push.
Knockdown. Ball scatters.
Yeah.
If this had been a knockdown, then the ghoul might have... Ooh.
Oh, that's a good bounce. No, not yet. Oh.
White wolf, white. All right.
That's okay, though. That's okay. The white ends up with it. He's got block, and he's in an okay spot, but, I mean, he would have definitely loved for him to not catch it. Unfortunately, he does.
Yeah. Yeah, I really would have liked to see RTSD prevent this by going for the ballsy play last turn, because now his situation is just even harder than it was. He's not going to get more rerolls, so... Tough situation for RTSD.
Silsei did find the 2-die on the werewolf, so that made it a whole lot easier choice, but...
Yeah,
still
like I said, starting off with the guard white dodging made it possible.
I don't know if I like that ghoul move up to base the flesh golem there.
Yeah, it's fine. That flank is safe.
No, but then again, I guess he had to, because then the flesh golem moves up and gives the assist.
Yeah, still might, because that ghoul can be removed.
Yeah, indeed.
Gets a 2-die on the ghoul, pushes enough, fleshy moves forward, and then you've got a 2-die on the ball, but no one to go and get it, really. That's the problem.
3 more turns left to play. RTSD needs to get this ball out. He still has chances, but it is slowly starting to fritter away.
I really like the position on Master of Chaos, the lowest placed ghoul on Silsei's team. He makes it very hard, even if there is a steal or a knockdown on the ball. He makes it very hard for RTSD to go and get the ball.
If it bounces that way, but yeah, it does provide a small outlet.
Even if it doesn't bounce that way, it doesn't have to go near him. He's screening off still.
Yeah, that's true. He's screening off the left side where a lot of RTSD's guys are, especially a ghoul with sure hands is. Where
his only agility 3 is, pretty much. Because the wolf is doing the block. Now he does still have the blitz. Because he can get the knockdown on the ball without blitzing.
Here's the 2-die. He can't get nuffled. Okay, great. So he will be able to get the flesh golem support here for the 2-die block here. Actually, he's got a blitz.
We might just see the wolf go for the blitz because he's the fastest. He needs to get across. He needs to do the pickup anyway.
Yeah, he needs to do the pickup, if anything.
Yep.
So there's the movement.
Yeah,
up.
I like that positioning. That is way better because it
That is
lets
the
him
best positioning.
push to the right instead of down when
So here we go. Can he
Okay.
do it?
knockdown.
Defender stumbles.
I think he pushes it on to next to the fleshy, because if he's
I
in
think he
his
pushes
own
him-
way, because the
Yeah.
other way has two tackle zones, and a diagonal blocks his own path. Oh, he goes for the two tackle zone side.
Down. Oh, injury though.
Injury. Now the bounce is going to be huge. The bounce is going to matter a lot.
Scatter.
Oh, that's good. That is good for
Great
RTSD.
scatter.
Dodge and the
he
pickup.
can dodge
Ooh!
away. Pick up. And the werewolf gets the touchdown. It's on, baby. RTSD scores it after all.
Wow.
Spock a cookie. A doggy treat. But OMG, he's done it. RTSD. When you think he's down, you can't count him out. 1-1. Oh boy.
Mummy stays out. Puppy stays out. Oh. So, 2 turns for Silsei to pull off a touchdown with 2 rerolls, but only 1 mummy.
Boy, this... You kind of want to win it in regulation, but at the same time...
9
It's okay
players
if it
for
does.
Silsei.
I believe it's full complement for Necromantic
Yep.
11.
I mean, they're still
So-
missing their killer, but at least they have 11 players.
Well, they're
So-
both missing key pieces, but yeah.
Yeah. That was lovely. That was lovely. All right.
Necromantic team pulls it out. I love that. Just able to methodically move in. There was
this
times
is-
where I was like, let's go for it. But then you said, yes, slow it down. Then I said, let's slow it down. You say, let's go for it. So it's been like back and forth. I mean, these are the coaching decisions that we have to make every single time we play. And I love that it worked out.
So, lovely, lovely stuff. The underdog story, RTSD turning over Silsei in his defensive half. Are they playing on your view? Because then I might need to reconnect.
No, they're not playing on my view either.
Ah,
so
okay.
I'm thinking...
They're probably
Still
chatting.
saying. Yeah, probably just talking it over or just thinking. Maybe somebody went to the bathroom break after that one.
Yeah, in there. So, Silsei is probably going to try and pull out all the stops to score in regulation time and not allow RTSD the chance at overtime. Still has 4 ghouls, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, so a lot of mobility on Silsei's Undead and the rerolls.
With them being down in numbers, I just don't see the Undead team doing too much with it. He's probably just going to keep the ball safe for a couple of turns and then go into overtime period. So, of course, in overtime period, if you guys don't know, it is going to be a sudden death overtime. And, of course, there's just a coin flip to select who will have the offensive side. And, of course, whoever does have the offensive side will have a slight advantage of winning the game.
Yeah. I wonder if anyone's ever done stats on that, but massive, massive advantage.
Well, you know, I have casted lots of games, and yeah, I mean, definitely the person who does get the ball has the advantage, but I wouldn't say a massive advantage. I would say about maybe as high as 70% of the time the person receiving it will win the match, but it's not that good.
So, high kick again. Potential for out of bounds again.
Yep, and that's too bad too. Would have loved to at least had the pickup, but he catches it.
I think bounce out would have been better for him than catching it there. Because he needs to cross a lot of distance in 2 turns. we're going to see Undead try and pass.
But are we? I don't see it, especially after that catch now. I don't think he's gonna do it. Necros are gonna rush with the werewolves, or one werewolf. And why risk it? Oh, he's gonna use the reroll there.
Reroll. Yep.
Oh no.
He really doesn't want this to go to overtime.
This might, if it does go to overtime, he might regret using that reroll right there.
Yeah. So it's important to know, for those of you who don't know knockout style, rerolls are not renewed for the third half. They remain the rerolls that you had, which is 1 for Silsei right now, after that double skull, and 0 for RTSD. More importantly, or also very important at least, if no one scores in overtime, then there are penalty kickoffs where your remaining number of rerolls form a bonus which alter the probability of winning them. Goes for a GFI. He's definitely pushing for a score.
He's
this
pushing
half.
it. Yeah,
that GFI before moving the ball, though, not moving the ball at the start of this turn was very, very scary, especially after that double skull, having to GFI without doing anything. Oh,
he's going for it. Silsei is saying, I don't want to go into overtime period. I am going to hand it off and then likely move down the pitch and pass it down to the other ghoul, maybe in the last bit. But we'll see.
The white is not a touchdown threat, though, is he? 2, 4, 6, 8. No, so that ghoul is actually the only touchdown threat Silsei has right now. And that's very easily blitzable. The other
I don't
ghoul
even know if we should hand it off yet.
The other ghoul could move up the center to form a second touchdown threat.
So it is a blodge ghoul, though, but yeah, he thought about it. He was thinking about handing it off to maybe the blodge ghoul so that he's a little bit safer and he might get blitzed, but he'll have a chance to maybe still throw it at the end. But in the end, Silsei is just thinking, no, I'm going to hold the ball.
Yeah. He wants the ghoul who has the ball now to be just clear of getting marked by Mr. Spock, the tackle.
Only one receiving threat, though, so...
Yeah, well, if the block on the LOS is good... no, that actually blocks as well. Yeah. That's harsh. I would have liked to see a 2-die on the line, and then a dodge through from the ghoul,
I'm surprised
maybe.
to see no GFIs with that ghoul to get on the 6. You know what I mean? He should have at least put him there to at least have another shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 2 GFIs. He was in range if he put him on the 6.
Yeah, he should have tried to get a second touchdown threat, I guess. Yeah. Could have dodged through the center, would have also screened off. Because now all RTSD has to do to be guaranteed his way to overtime is roll 2 dice with tackle on the goal, potential for a GFI follow-up 2-die. I guess this white could actually still get chain pushed into touchdown range if Silsei doesn't do something about that.
That might be what the play is here. He knows that the ghoul will get blitzed with the tackle werewolf even.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't like the guard guy standing up there. Because if he dodges out, then there's no chain push.
Well, at this point, Silsei just needs to stop this touchdown. I mean, RTSD needs to stop this touchdown.
Okay, first 2-die is bad. That means we're going to go into a GFI for the second 2-die. No reroll. Everything's scary. Does he make the GFI? No! Oh!
No GFI, and White might dodge for the blitz, and then the ghoul, another dodge. Hey, what do you think?
The ball is still very, very far, though. I suppose a handoff to Master of Chaos, followed by a pass into the end zone, might just be the play.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was saying before, where maybe the handoff to the Blodge Ghoul there to get the ball up to the center. Sure, he might get blitzed, but yeah, who cares, right? Just you have a chance, and if you're going for it like this, then you got to make these kind of scary moments. But he's still able to hand off to the Ghoul up front, the Blodge, and still get the pass up, cast off. But now you have another roll that you have to make at the end.
At least there is no scoring threat from the Necro. So Silsei can afford to take risks on this touchdown attempt turn 16. That helps.
Yeah. And what Silsei is thinking about right now is just, how do I do this with as little risk as possible? So that's what he's thinking about at the moment as he is going to try for this touchdown incoming. So there's the punch. He can actually get the Ghoul over there for some support, if need be.
Yeah, so we could see a blitz onto the Fleshy so that he doesn't have to catch it in the end zone. But a blitz onto the Ghoul, the Surehand's Ghoul who's in the way, would make sense as well.
Yeah, the Ghoul, yeah, that Ghoul right there is moving. Can come over the top. Yeah, there we go. GFI. And now we're going to see the 3+2 die blitz.
Could be the Ghoul who's blitzing to still catch it in the end zone. But then he would have used the other Ghoul for that. No. So that's not happening.
I think the pass is going to be a pass against the tackle zone because that's easier to make than a 5+ pass from moving to the end zone. So it's going to be against the tackle zone catch.
No. He is going for the 2 die. Okay. Gets the POW, which means he doesn't have to follow up and dodge back out or make an extra GFI. So moving 1 GFI into the end zone makes it. So then this Ghoul could pass from here. That's 1 GFI for a 4+. So we're going to see a handoff.
Yeah. So a handoff into a big pass coming up. Will the semifinal end?
Ah, so exciting. So exciting.
No, I think he needs to do 2 GFIs here. 2 GFIs for the 4+, maybe? No, 1. No, 2.
I think it would have been 1 from the other side.
Well, you just won, yeah. So there you go. Woo! Oh, 4+! Into
Silsei
the 3+
nails
catch.
it.
Silsei gets the
1.
touchdown. 2-1. This game's over.
Oh, that was spectacular.
Silsei
was wow.
Might as well just do it at the end. Oh boy.
Now this is a drive that does really validate the 4 Ghoul option. Having to score in 2 turns is definitely the kind of situation where the 4 Ghouls really come in. Nice job from Silsei. So there is, of course, still a 2 Frenzy Movement 8 option for a 1 turn. There's also the possibility of a Riot, but it looks like it's Silsei with the Frankable Stars going on to the grand final.
But don't forget, though, there's still also a 1-move touchdown try, if anything. So Werewolf, 8 movement allowance. And hopefully RTSD will do a lot better job than he did in the last game. But, I mean, you never know, right? 1-move touchdowns, not easy to do whatsoever. And if anything, when you're playing to stop a 1-move touchdown, what you try to do is you try to give your opponent a new look to stop the 1-move touchdown with.
To be fair, with only 1 scoring threat that was blitzable with a 2 die with tackle, that should not have been a touchdown. I bet RTSD is banging his head into his desk right now. So frustrated as his Werewolf needing the Frenzy once more and then failing the GFI. That's gotta hurt.
That had to hurt. Yeah, the Werewolf failing the GFI. Should have gotten at least a 2 die. He would have taken them both down if necessary. Well, actually, he would have, because that's a block Werewolf, but still. Oh boy. The drama. That's why we play Blood Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. You just never know. And right there, Silsei. I mean, these are the moments we live for when we do play it. Unfortunately, RTSD might be the recipient of the other side of that type of play.
Regardless, I'm very glad that we got to see some massive excitement in the last couple of turns of this game. No dragging out for the 1-0, but rather the aggressive counter score and the desperate 2-turn. Really, really happy to see that excitement.
Yep, I was a little bit saying that perhaps he would just hold back, but Silsei able to change gears and just put the pedal to the metal and make that 2-move touchdown. Man,
all right,
I hear the play today.
I can already hear the fans gearing up to riot. All right, the time is up. The setup is fixed. Now, one turning against strength 5 is of course not trivial. One turning without a reroll is not trivial. He does have the sure hands on the ghoul. This is going to be tough.
1-move touchdown or riot.
Yeah.
I hope like crazy RTSD has studied the 1-move touchdown tries because he's gonna need it here today.
He does have the frenzy, but only one that he can use for this because the other is already the movement 8, of course.
Well, he doesn't even necessarily need to use it. It's obviously easier if he did, but I mean, yeah, he's got a frenzy piece.
Relying on the frenzy makes a lot of sense here. You could even start your 1 turn by 2-dying the zombie in the middle, 1 square to the side, and then into your formation with a block action.
Yeah.
Because then you still have your blitz to use the guy who has the ball to actually blitz free of the guys in the back or something. But
yeah, for sure.
It's going to be hard no matter what. Agility 3.
And RTSD is actually putting the claw werewolf right in front of the mummies just in case the 1-move touchdown doesn't necessarily work out for him. So as you can see, he's already kind of...
Yeah, well, if it doesn't work, then it doesn't matter. Then these players are done. They're never coming back.
Yeah, resurrection mode too, so it doesn't even matter, but still.
Yep. He also has to think of how to do this if there is a riot.
Yeah, that is also something to consider. You have to think, what if there is a riot?
I think he's going to start with blocking the mummy on our right side, which I'm going to switch to our left since he's receiving now. So, he's going to start by blocking the mummy on the left, and then using the tackle to blitz with frenzy for a push, and have the second push go in the right direction. Okay.
No help for either side.
Okay.
Start 2-die to open up things towards the zombie.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We might actually see the pass happen first, because the wolf is just moving further and further away as he does this. So the pass first would have made a lot of sense. Yeah, another push.
Here. Nicely done. 3-die even. Beautifully done. Doesn't have the first push. Will use the frenzy.
I really would have liked to see the pass before the pushes, because the pushes put the wolf further away and in more tackle zones as this progresses.
Yes, indeed. That probably would have been a better play. But at this point,
no, that's not a push. That is not a push.
Oh, boy. That's it, guys. One more push away from giving us a little bit extra drama.
Congratulations to Silsei for progressing to the grand final of the Blood Bowl 2 2018 World Cup. France is in the final of the World Cup again! Also, massive congratulations to RTSD for making it this far, for playing a great game, for winning $1,000, getting into the semifinals. Awesome job from both coaches. Super exciting. And Yeah, we're going to see Silsei in the grand final.
Silsei the winner, 2-1. And as you can see there, the armor breaks not necessarily being there for the Necromantic team actually out blocking the Undead team, but still a couple of injuries, was able to stay into it, but in the end it was the 2-move touchdown, the ballsy plays. That's what it is in Blood Bowl, just having balls.
That was very exciting. I'm very glad with those last couple of turns giving everyone the action we crave. No cowardly hiding in the back, but rather fighting over the ball, pushing forward. That was super exciting. Alright YouTube, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, remember to leave it a thumbs up at the bottom. And of course, if you'd like to see more videos, do check out the channel and hit subscribe on your top right.